Good evening everyone, welcome to my second video. Today in this video we are going to discuss about in particularly about the solar system. In the last class we have seen how the universe has came to existence through various theories. It has been explained. Now today in particular we will be dealing with the solar system. The moment I say solar system, we remember head of the family, that is sun. And looking into its composition, 71% hydrogen, 26% helium, and minor elements are also existing with it. The main reason for the enormous amount of heat and light that is coming out of the sun is because of this nuclear fusion reaction. And if you look at the sun photo, it is very clearly distinguishable that there is always a shining surface which we call as a photosphere, and there exists an outer layer which we call as an corona, and in between this outer layer and the inner core there exists a middle surface which is we call as chromosphere. It is important for all of us to remember all these three layers. And the important point is light takes about 8 minutes 20 seconds to reach the earth from the sun. And now talking about the solar winds. When I say solar winds, these are the winds which will be originated due to the heat or the particles that is being emitted from the solar, that is from the sun. That winds may travel in other different forms, that is in the spiral form or in the boards of incandescent material, that is or in horizontal way. Anyhow they can travel. When I say they are traveling in spiral form, they are not much effective, means they are not causing much danger. But when the same solar winds are traveling in the form of boats, they cause solar flares. That is, solar flares, they have higher amount of hot ionized gases. They will be pertaining the damage to our satellite communication. And now, in this, aura is created. Means the moment the sun radiations are coming out, there leads to creation of certain zone, which we call that zone as an aura. That aura has some bright spots as well as dark spots. Hope you are clear. Now talking about the planets, as I already told, planets are an opaque bodies because they are incapable of emitting the light, and light also cannot pass through those opaque bodies. Planets do not have their ability to emit their own light. Just they take the light from the sun or any other stars and they shine. And it is also said that the ninth planet is been already discovered by the NASA named Carla. Recently, we removed the Pluto from the list, and it is mentioned Carla is being added by the NASA team. And we have planets called as terrestrial planets and the gaseous planets, which will be dealt in the upcoming slides. Before that, for the exam point of view, it is very important for us to note down this order. It is the sequence of planets according to the distance, and this is a sequence of planets according to their size. Now talking about the classification of the planets. When I say classification of the planets, there are two groups, that are inner planets and outer planets. Let us look into it. When I say inner planets, we call inner planets are also as a terrestrial planets, outer planets as a gaseous planets. When I say inner planets or a terrestrial planets, it is EVM. Please remember this code. E stands for Earth, V stands for Venus, M stands for Mercury and Mars. And rest of the other elements, other planets will be coming under the outer planet, and which are also called as gaseous planet. Please remember there is a ring system present around these planets, and these are also known as Joran planets. In the exam, they may ask us in any way which of the following is a rock planets, which of the following is a gaseous planets. We should be in a moment to explain them. And now talking about each and every planet in brief with their points. Talking about the Mercury, it is the first planet which is very nearest to the sun. But this planet has no water. You know the reason. Because of high temperature, though there is a chances it will get evaporated. And even it does not has an ozone layer. And talking about the Venus, it is the next nearest planet which is nearer to the Earth as well as the Sun. It is said it is as the brightest planet. Even it is very interesting to note that Venus is called as evening star as well as morning star. Means it is being visible at both morning time as well as evening time. And it is also known as Wild planet, also called as Earth twin, because most of the time the characteristics of the Venus will match with our planet, except presence of oxygen as well as the existence of life. It also rotates clockwise like Uranus. Please do remember, almost all the planets will rotate anti-clockwise to the Sun. But exception are Venus and Uranus, they rotate clockwise around the Sun. And Venus is the hottest planet compared to the Mercury too. Venus has no water on it. We have said it. Due to its insufficient oxygen, there is no life. And now talking about our own Earth. Earth is tilted on its axis, makes an angle near 66%. We all know our planet is known as a blue planet. Why? Because our Earth is covered by three parts of water and one part of land. And there is an existence of light, the existence of a life, oxygen, water, and whatnot, which is needed for the survival or the building of a living organism. Everything exists. And our Earth has its own natural satellite called as Moon. Only one natural satellite it is having. And coming to other planets, Mars. Mars is referred as a red planet because this Mars planet has iron-rich red soil. And it is important to note Hopes and Demos are the two satellites of Mars. It may be asked in the exam. Next, talking about Jupiter. Jupiter is called as winter planet because it has extreme low temperature in this particular planet. Particularly this Ganymede satellite of Jupiter is informed as the largest satellite in the solar system. Means there are eight planets, as we know that eight planets are having their own satellites, but among those satellites, Ganymede, which is a satellite of Jupiter, is the largest satellite. Coming about the Saturn. Saturn, it has bright concentric rings. Usually it is said nearly 13 or more than that it has something. But be sure that the Titan is the largest satellite of the Saturn. Means Saturn is having more number of natural satellites, but among those natural satellites, Titan is the largest one, and it has maximum number of rings around Saturn. Okay. Next, Uranus. Uranus is said to be a greenish planet because, very important here, because of the methane gas present in the atmosphere, it is said as a greenish planet. And Uranus is the first planet to be discovered by the use of telescope. Using telescope, it was the very first element, a very first planet which was discovered. And last but not the least, our next planet is a Neptune. It is very similar to Uranus. It is said as a twin of the Uranus and it is surrounded by the methane rings. And these rings has sub-zero temperature, means temperature of these particular rings will be too less. Hence, we say that Uranus is a twin of Neptune. And now, talking about asteroids. Now, the topic which we are going to discuss is something new and which is different than the planets. It is said that asteroids or planetoids are referred as minor planets. They are most fondly between the planets Mars and Jupiter. Between these two planets, these asteroids are present, and that zone we call as an asteroid belt. And certain asteroids, even there, it is said that even the asteroids, they may not be a true planets, which we call as a minor planets. Even they may have many satellites. And talking about the Trojan asteroids, these are found in two clouds moving the orbit of the Jupiter. Particularly when we are moving towards the planet Jupiter in the space, you can find these Trojan asteroids. And important to tell again, this asteroid belt exists between two planets, that is a Mars and Jupiter, that is MJ. It is better to remember that as an MJ. Between the MJ, there exists an asteroid belt. Now, which are the important facts we should remember? Saturn has maximum number of satellites. Jupiter is a fast rotating planet. Venus has the same period of rotation as well as revolution. That is, the duration of rotation is equal to the duration of revolution. And the angle of inclination of Mars is nearly same that of an Earth. And which are jovian planets, which are outer planets, which are inner planets. I already mentioned, important to note. And Mercury is the fastest revolving planet. Jupiter is the fastest rotating planet. Please make sure of the difference, which is fastest rotating and fastest revolving planet. And the Pluto is the slowest revolving dwarf planet. And which is the nearest planet? We almost know that Mercury, which is the biggest planet, Jupiter, MJ, J is big. You remember that way. And Earth is a blue planet, yes, because most of the part is filled with water. Mars is a red planet because it is rich. The soil condition, iron is more over there. And Mars, all told, and we say again a greenish planet. You remember which we call as a greenish planet, and Venus is called as Earth twin. And now talking about the meteors and the meteoroids. What actually these are meteoroids and meteorites are? These are shooting stars. When meteors are large and they do not burn completely, they land on the surface, we call as meteorites. Means they are some form of the astronomical bodies which are burning naturally in the space. But when they get in contact with the Earth's gravity, they are pulled towards the Earth's surface And therefore we say some asteroids, some meteoroids are coming, or they are approaching the Earth's surface this so and so date. Yes, generally we call them as the comets. Generally we call them as the visitors of the solar system. Comets are made up of the frozen gases which hold together rock and metallic minerals. A comet becomes visible only when it is traveled close to the sun. And it is also observed a tail-like structure is seen. Means always points away from the sun, that particular tin what I said, and it is a gas and the dust which is swept back into a air. And the stars. I said already, planets have their opaque bodies, whereas stars having their own light emitting ability. Stars seem to be fixed with respect to one another. In the space, they have some particular position they will fix. A star's color indicates the temperature of its surface. Very important to note. Color of the star indicates the temperature, and if a star is having a blue color, it means it is having a maximum temperature. And next, talking about some important facts. The brightest star outside the solar system is Sirius, which is also called as a dog star. Closest star to our solar system is Proxima Centauri. Means after the sun, it is the next star which is close, that is Proxima Centauri, which is 4.287. Now the concept of black hole and Chandrasekhar limit. The black holes are formed due to the collapse and the compaction under the gravity. I have read it out because I can't change the statement why it happens. So this particular concept of a black hole was given by the physicist, particularly we should be proud that he's a renowned Indian physicist, Chandrasekhar, and also given an Chandrasekhar limit means how we should predict the mass of the stars and how actually the black holes are formed, when we should consider it as a black hole, such thing given by the physicist Chandrasekhar. And it has many other facts in where the stars have been listed. I think you can pause the video and take the screenshot and read. And in order to study the stars well, in order to uh, identify the particular stars, the sky will be categorized into constellations, means divisions. At present, 58 constellations are recognized for the easy study of the sky. And our cosmic neighborhood is Andromeda. Andromeda is a spiral galaxy and the nebula. These nebula are interstellar cloud of gas, and this nebula depends on luminosity, means light. Means if that nebula, what I say as interstellar clouds of gas, if that nebula is having some stars, it will be having a light. If that nebula is not having a light, means it won't shine. And this is the example why we say Earth is not flat. Because when a ship is approaching the land, its funnel means the top, what will be the flag will be tied to the ship, is visible first, and then the hull, that is the bottom, is visible. It shows that if the Earth has been flat, whole should have been visible to us at a time, at the same time, but it is not the case.